Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Current Affairs Weekly Quiz. Let's begin with the first question. What does AWACS stand for? A. Airborne Wireless and Control System. B. Airborne Warning and Control System. C. Air Based Weather Control System. And D. Aerial Weapons and Combat Surveillance. The correct answer is option B. Airborne Warning and Control System. India shot down Pakistan's Airborne Warning and Control System AWACS or AWACS aircraft along with 3 Pakistani fighter jets, including 1 F-16 and 2 JF-17s, in retaliation to an unprovoked attack by Pakistan. AWACS are advanced aircrafts equipped with large radar domes for long-range radar surveillance, command, and control. They provide real-time situational awareness by tracking and identifying air and surface contacts over vast distances. Question 2. What does the MRSAM Ecosystem Summit 2.0 aim to promote? A. International defense collaborations. B. Self-reliance in air defense systems. C. Cyber defense strategies. And D. Naval missile systems. The correct answer is option B. Self-reliance in air defense systems. The Center for Joint Warfare Studies, CENJOS, or CENJOWS, in collaboration with Aerospace Services India, ASI, and Israel Aerospace Industries, IAI, hosted the second MRSAM Ecosystem Summit to strengthen India's air and missile defense capabilities. The summit, organized at the Manekshaw Center, focused on aligning with India's Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India initiatives. Question 3. What is the primary goal of the cloud seeding initiative in Delhi? A. To increase rainfall for agriculture. B. To reduce airborne pollutants and improve air quality. C. To create artificial rain for water storage. And D. To combat flooding in the city. The correct answer is option B. To reduce airborne pollutants and improve air quality. The Delhi Cabinet under Chief Minister Rekha Gupta approved a proposal to conduct 5 cloud seeding trials aimed at improving air quality and managing pollution in the capital. The project will be overseen by IIT Kanpur and it will involve an investment of Rs 3.21 crore with Rs 2.75 crore allocated for the trials and Rs 66 lakhs for equipment calibration and logistics. The trials are a part of the city's broader strategy to tackle chronic air pollution and prepare for peak pollution periods. Question 4. Where is IMDX Asia 2025 being held? A. Tokyo. B. Singapore. C. New Delhi. D. Dubai. The correct answer is option B. Singapore. Indian naval ship INS Keeltan has arrived in Singapore to participate in the International Maritime Defense Exhibition IMDEX or IMDEX Asia 2025 at the Changi Exhibition Center. The visit is a part of the Indian Navy's operational deployment and emphasizes the strong maritime cooperation between India and Singapore. During the event, INS Keeltan's crew will engage in professional exchanges with the Republic of Singapore Navy and other participating navies. Question 5. What is the primary purpose of the National Centers of Excellence NCOEs under the new scheme? Option A. To offer degree courses in vocational education. B. To enhance the capacity of National Skill Training Institutes NSTIs. C. To focus on theoretical education for ITI students. And D. To create global job opportunities for ITI graduates. The correct answer is option B. To enhance the capacity of National Skill Training Institutes or NSTIs. The National Scheme for Upgradation of Industrial Training Institutes, ITIs, aim to enhance the quality of vocational education and meet the increasing demand for skilled labor in India. The establishment of 5 National Centers of Excellence for skilling will enhance the capacity of National Skill Training Institutes located in Bhubaneswar, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kanpur, and Ludhiana. Question 6. Which international collaboration supported the first geothermal project in Arunachal Pradesh? A. Norwegian Geotechnical Institute and Geotrophy EHF. B. European Space Agency and CESHS. C. NASA and ISRO. And D. The UNDP and CESHS. The correct answer is option A. Norwegian Geotechnical Institute and Geotropy EHF. Arunachal Pradesh has achieved a significant milestone with the successful drilling of Northeast India's first geothermal production well in Dirang, West Kameng district. This breakthrough, led by the Center of Earth Sciences and Himalayan Studies, or CESHS, marks a key step towards sustainable energy development in the region. The collaboration involves CESHS, the Norwegian Geotechnical Institute, or NGI, Iceland-based Geotropy EHF, and the Guwahati Boring Services, or GBS, drilling team. Question 7. What is one of the key challenges India faces according to the HDI report 2025? A. Low education levels. B. Inequality. C. Insufficient healthcare. And D. Lack of economic growth. The correct answer is option B. Inequality. India has improved its rank to 130th on the 2025 Human Development Index, or HDI, up from 133rd in 2022. The United Nations Development Programme, or the UNDP report, highlights India's progress in health, education and income, though challenges remain in inequality. India's HDI score increased from 0.676 in 2022 to 0.685 in 2023, bringing it closer to the threshold for high human development, which is 0.700. Despite improvements, inequality continues to erode India's HDI by 30.7%, one of the highest in the region. Question 8. Which missiles were used in India's recent operation against terror camps in Pakistan? A. Scalp and Hammer. B. Harpoon and BrahMos. C. Scalp and Agni. And D. SLBM and Trident. The correct answer is option A. Scalp and Hammer. India launched missile strikes deep into Pakistan, targeting terror camps and inflicting heavy damage using Scalp cruise missiles and Hammer precision-guided munitions. The strikes were a retaliation to the Pahalgam attack, where 25 tourists and a local were killed by Pakistani-based terrorists. The operation, carried out by the Air Force, Navy and Army, targeted key terror outfits like Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba in Bahawalpur and Muridke. Question 9. What is the theme of GLEX 2025? A. Reaching New Worlds, a Space Exploration Renaissance. B. The Future of Space Exploration. C. Global Space Cooperation. And D. Space Technology Advancements. The correct answer is option A. Reaching New Worlds, a Space Exploration Renaissance. The Global Space Exploration Conference, or GLEX 2025, was inaugurated recently by India's Union Minister of State for Science and Technology, marking a significant milestone in India's leadership in global space exploration. This 3-day summit, themed Reaching New Worlds, a Space Exploration Renaissance, highlights India's growing prominence in space technology and exploration. The event features the highest number of submitted abstracts, which were 1275 in number, in the history of the IAF Global Conference, with a significant portion from India. Question 10. Who is the founder of the Red Cross movement? A. Albert Einstein. B. Florence Nightingale. C. Henry Dunant. And D. Mahatma Gandhi. The correct answer is option C. Henry Dunant. World Red Cross Day is observed annually on May 8 to celebrate the humanitarian efforts of the Red Cross and Red Crescent movement. The day honors the birth anniversary of Henry Dunant, the founder of the Red Cross and the International Committee of the Red Cross, or the ICRC. The 2024 theme is I Give with Joy, and the joy I give is a reward, highlighting the value of selfless service. Question 11. What was the focus of the New York Times Pulitzer-winning explanatory journalism? A. Sudan conflict. B. US war in Afghanistan. C. Fentanyl crisis. And D. Trump's assassination attempt. The correct answer is option C. Fentanyl crisis. The 2025 Pulitzer Prizes were awarded to journalists for excellence in investigative reporting, commentary, and more. Reuters won the Pulitzer Prize in investigative reporting for a series of the international trade in fentanyl chemicals. The New York Times received 4 Pulitzers, including for its coverage of the fentanyl crisis, while the New Yorker won 3. Other notable winners include the Washington Post and ProPublica, recognizing the impact of their reporting. Question 12. Where was the first AI data center park in India inaugurated? A. Mumbai, B. Navaraipur, C. Bengaluru, and D. Hyderabad. The correct answer is option B. Navaraipur. The Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Vishnu Devsai, inaugurated the Artificial Intelligence Aided Data Center Park in Navaraipur on May 4, 2025. This is the first AI-based data center in India with an estimated funding of Rs 1,000 crore to be spent over the next 2 years. The AI Data Center Park will focus on providing AI-driven solutions to the agriculture and education sectors. Question 13. What is the primary function of loitering munitions used in Operation Sindoor? A. To provide surveillance and engage targets over extended periods. B. To deliver nuclear payloads. C. To intercept incoming missiles. And D. To carry out air-to-ground combat operations. The correct answer is option A. To provide surveillance and engage targets over extended periods. India launched Operation Sindoor in retaliation for the April 2025 Pahalgam terrorist attack, targeting 9 terrorist infrastructure sites in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, or POJK. Also known as kamikaze drones, loitering munitions are used for surveillance and target engagement. They provide real-time intelligence and can operate over extended periods. Question 14. Karegutta Hills is located along the boundaries between which 2 states? A. Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. B. Chhattisgarh and Telangana. C. Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. And D. Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. The correct answer is option B. Chhattisgarh and Telangana. Recently, security forces launched Operation Sankalp on 21st April based on intelligence inputs about the presence of senior cadres of the Maoist Battalion No. 1, Dandakaranya Special Zonal Committee, or the DKSZC, and the Telangana State Committee of Maoists. The operation targets Maoist strongholds in the Karegutta Hills and surrounding forest areas along the Chhattisgarh-Telangana border. Question 15. Where is the Bhakra Dam located? A. Near the border between Punjab and Himachal Pradesh. B. Near the border between UP or Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. C. Near the border between Rajasthan and Gujarat. And D. Near the border between Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. The correct answer is option A. Near the border between Punjab and Himachal Pradesh. Recently, all Punjab parties unanimously decided not to spare a single drop of additional water to Haryana from the Bhakra Dam. Bhakra Dam is a concrete gravity dam across the Satluj River and is near the border between Punjab and Himachal Pradesh. It is located at a gorge near the upstream Bhakra village in the Bilaspur district of Himachal Pradesh. Question 16. What is the significance of Vizhinjam International Seaport or VIS in India's maritime infrastructure? A. It is India's first deep water transshipment port. B. It is India's largest port by volume. C. It is India's first fully automated port. And D. It is India's first river-based port. The correct answer is option A. It is India's first deep water transshipment port. Recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Vizhinjam International Seaport in Kerala, marking a significant milestone in India's maritime infrastructure. It is India's first deep-water transshipment port designed for container and multipurpose cargo. The port is developed under the public-private partnership on a design, build, finance, operate and transform basis. Question 17. Recently, where were the 11 inscriptions discovered? A. Ghatusingaram village. B. Gundaram Reserve Forest. C. Peddapalli district. And D. Mukkutraupet village. The correct answer is option B, Gundaram Reserve Forest. The Archaeological Survey of India, or the ASI, recently documented 11 inscriptions in Gundaram Reserve Forest near Peddapalli district. These inscriptions, dating from the 1st century BCE to the 6th century CE, provide valuable insights into the Satvahan period and early Deccan history. This discovery strengthens the identification of Telangana as a core region of the ancient Mahajanpad of Asmaka. Question 18. Which technology was used by ICAR to develop the world's first genome-edited rice varieties? A. CRISPR-Cas9 and site-directed nucleases 1 or SDN1. B. CRISPR-Cas12 and RNA interference. C. ZFN and TALEN. And D. Genome shuffling and PCR-based editing. The correct answer is option A, CRISPR-Cas9 and site-directed nucleases 1. The Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ICAR, said it has developed the world's first genome-edited GE rice varieties with superior yields, drought and salinity tolerance, and high nitrogen use efficiency traits. Union Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, released the 2 rice varieties at the ICAR's NASC complex. India has exempted GE crops from biosafety regulations under the Environment Protection Act of 1986. These regulations govern both field trials and release for commercial cultivation in the case of GM crops that are treated as hazardous substances under the Act. Question 19. Which of the following describes a run-of-the-river hydropower project? A. A hydropower plant that stores large volumes of water for power generation. B. A hydropower plant with no water storage, relying on river flow for power generation. C. A hydropower plant that only operates during monsoon seasons. And D. A hydropower plant that uses tidal waves for power generation. The correct answer is option B, a hydropower plant with no water storage, relying on river flow for power generation. Following the Pahalgam terror attack, India has ratcheted up its diplomatic offensive against Pakistan, including curbing water flow through the Baglihar Dam. Baglihar Dam, also known as Baglihar Hydroelectric Power Project, is a run-of-the-river power project on the Chenab River. Run-of-river hydroelectricity, or ROR, or run-of-the-river hydroelectricity, is a type of hydroelectric generation plant whereby little or no water storage is provided. Question 20. What is meant by a Goldilocks moment in the context of agricultural supply? A. A period when agricultural production is too high, leading to oversupply. B. A situation where the supply of agricultural goods is perfectly balanced with demand, ensuring stable prices. C. A situation when agricultural products are completely absent in the market. And D. A phase when government interventions artificially fix agricultural prices. The correct answer is option B, a situation where the supply of agricultural goods is perfectly balanced with demand, ensuring stable prices. When farmers harvest a good crop for which they get remunerative rates, there is ample grain to meet the requirements of private millers and traders, and the government also procures enough to replenish its depleted stocks. It translates into a Goldilocks situation. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.